What's up, everyone? It's Dave Wallace from the Medal of Honor channel, and finally time again for another Metalhead box opening. For some reason, I feel like I'm saying this, apologizing for them all the time, but things get late sometimes. This time it's like an additional 2 weeks late. I think that's because one of the items that was supposed to go in the box just arrived late and it was kind of out of their hands. But it's just kind of one of those things, if you're going to get a combo box, then waiting on other people to bring everything, it's going to take a while. So it's finally here, and so let's go ahead and get into the box. If you don't know, if you haven't been watching, I've been doing this particular show, the Metalhead Box show, for a year now. But if you're not familiar, Metalhead Box is a subscription service. You can get hot metal delivered to your home every month. You can get albums like I get, you can get cassettes, you can get CDs, you get t-shirts, you get all kinds of extra freebies. Do yourself a favor and go to themetalheadbox.com and check it out, see if you might be interested. Just make sure you're patient, because sometimes you gotta wait extra long and things don't arrive when they're supposed to arrive. So anyway, let's get to it. We're going to start off with something very interesting that we want to talk about, and is this month's pin. As you know, they always throw in a pin, and let me see if I can block me out. There it is. See that? See that, dude? Alright, so what's interesting, first of all, it's not the coolest looking pin. It's not bad though, but it's very interesting that we got this at this time, because this is John Becerra, who was the frontman and is the frontman for Possessed. Possessed is arguably one of the first death metal band. Between them and the band Death, of course, they were out at the same time with Seven Churches from Possessed, and Death putting out Scream Bloody Gore. It is argued that Possessed put out the first death metal album, and the picture, with him holding this upside down cross, huge cross, and then fire on the end. There's actually a picture of him. You can look up old photographs of the band of him holding this big long cross. It doesn't really look like that, but anyways, interesting. So Possessed came out, they actually formed in 1983, so we're talking mid-80s, beginnings of death metal. But what's interesting is in 1989, John was shot in an armed robbery, and he was paralyzed from the neck down, waist down. I believe waist down he was paralyzed. So he has been in a wheelchair ever since. Now, of course, in the 90s they had a different vocalist come in, and in the early mid-2000s, John reformed the band. He goes on stage in a wheelchair, and he reformed a new version of Possessed, and they've been going ever since. What's interesting is these pins, it's got to take a little while. They got to design it, they got to have them made and stuff, so it had to be a couple weeks. Probably just said Possessed is a cool band, let's put it in there. But only 3 days ago, as I record this, John Becerra, for the first time in 30 years, has taken his first footsteps. He got robotic legs helping him walk. And that's pretty amazing that we have, a couple days after this big announcement of him being able to walk with these robotic legs for the first time in 30 years, and we commemorate it with a pin. So that's actually pretty cool. So just a little interesting information I thought I'd throw out there. Anyway, that's this month's pin. I know a few people out there didn't know who that was, but yeah, John Becerra from Possessed. Up next is this month's t-shirt, and it is a kick-ass band called Pounder. Pounder is an LA power trio. LA formed, they only formed in 2017. I think they have 2 albums. They got one out this year. The t-shirt at the bottom is Gladiators of the Modern Age. Super cool band. They are American heavy metal. They have the roots of Nuabum. They've got, a little bit of like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest influence in them, and you can hear it, obviously, but also at the same time they have a production that reminds me of, say, like High on Fire, and again, a trio, so there's 3 guys making a lot of noise. Really kick-ass band. So yeah, Pounder shirt, definitely cool. And up next this month we have this is a freebie that got tossed in. This is a Redefining Darkness, Forever Underground. It's a mixed CD, from maybe a label or something to showcase all these different bands. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but again, that's pretty cool. It's just a freebie, nice artwork on there. Freebie that they tossed in. Let's see if we can catch that. There you go. And there's the logo, Redefining Darkness. So I'll definitely have to check that out. But yeah, just extra goodies they tossed in the box this month. Okay, so let's get on to the actual LPs that I got this month. I want to start with the first one that I got was Sons of Beliar, Tenebris Dios. Let me pull the jacket out here and show you this really cool artwork. So apparently this coincides with a graphic novel, which is entitled Realm of the Damned. Now this album comes out on Seasons of Mist. This is definitely more black metal, although it's got some different heavy metal riffs to it also. Something interesting about this particular album, though, is that if you look up this band, if you look up Sons of Beliar on the internet, you'll find all kinds of things referring to them as a band that was part of the first wave of black metal, and supposedly they'd been around as long as bands like Mayhem and Emperor and all that. Weird that I'd never heard that, right? And the thing is, there's one particular page, was Encyclopedia Metallium, that said it's actually not true, that they're actually a UK band, and this is their debut album, so if they were part of that first wave, I don't know what the hell took them so long to put out some music. So it's interesting, if that was just their way of, I don't know, maybe trying to make themselves known. They claim to be a part of the Norwegian scene. They were a Norwegian band, and yet Encyclopedia Metallium puts them as a UK band. So if that's true, if they're actually a UK band and they're kind of going with this gimmick, then they're basically like the Steel Panther of black metal. Except that, well, I like Steel Panther. I like this too. This is a kick-ass band. Really great sound to it. Yes, it is definitely a black metal style, but again, there's a lot of heavy metal riffs in there. I think that people of all kinds of metal tastes can actually really dig this band. The voice, I would say, very much sounds like Satyricon, so he did a good job of kind of matching that sort of style. But just very unusual story to this band. Actually, on the hype sticker says, few bands have such a legacy before their first full-length album even hits, but Sons of Beliar are not like other bands, not at all. But that review comes from thenerdist.com, so what the fuck? I don't know what's up with that. It also says that it's for fans of Cradle of Filth, Death Clock, Emperor, Mayhem. I don't know about the Death Clock thing. They're not quite, Death Clock is tight as fuck. I don't think they're quite that, but anyway. Tenebris Dios comes in black vinyl. And again, this is actually a really cool album, so really dig it. Once again, getting some good music from the Metalhead Box. Up next, if that band was a UK band, well, so is this one. This is Hark, and they are a Welsh band. The album's called Machinations. Machine and Nations put together. Anyway, this is a very different album from the last one that I just talked about, because this one is more, they actually compare them on their hype sticker to bands like Conan, Baroness, and Corrosion of Conformity. I'm a big fan of Corrosion of Conformity, and they definitely do have that sound. That's kind of cool. This is more of like a sludgy, heavy rock. It's got a metal tone to it, but I mean, it's just, again, it's not like death metal, it's not speed, it's not black and thrash. It's definitely got more of that COC kind of vibe to it, and I really dig it. So, very cool album. Interesting, artwork in here. Well worth checking out. Both of these bands. That's, again, like, I'm pissed off that it took so long to get here, but then I listened to it and I'm like, God, this stuff's cool. Hark, just black vinyl there. So again, really great selections from the Metalhead box. Finally, we do get another autograph card. Chris Monroy. This is the guitarist, possibly guitarist vocalist from Skeletal Remains, who I have done reviews for some of their albums, one or two of them that I have. Fucking great band, man. Definitely can shred. So again, you know, these autograph cards, just kind of a cool thing they toss in every month. So always glad to get those kind of goodies. So, interesting box. A late box, but fuck, it's a good one. Really good stuff. Really interesting things in it this month. So, that's going to be it for now. Again, check out metalheadbox.com. I still see people question on Facebook if it's worth doing subscription services, and you know, sometimes it's not the greatest, but you get a lot of stuff you never would have discovered. I don't think I would have found Hark. I don't think I would have found either of these bands actually, but it's really cool that got sent to me and go, oh shit, turns out I like another band. So anyway, check out metalheadbox.com, give them a try. As always, I appreciate you watching, and if you would please hit the subscribe button, and until next time, keep the horns up, keep the needle down.
Liberate what's satisfied.